Oh, I met Sean, had been quite a few years ago because I don't know his age at the moment right now, but he was about 13 years old. And I was working at the Fat Mac Rib Shack with Felix. And his father used to bring him down there, and he would come there and sit in, and he sat right beside Felix.
So please join me in giving it up for Felix and the Cat.
I met Sean at a guitar show in Atlanta, and he was, I don't remember what booth he was playing at, but it's a pretty famous story, and he was just ripping, and they had a big group of people around him, and Glenn was with him, and I think that he was 12 at the time, I think, something like that. I've seen a lot of kids and even grown-up players that play, but they don't have soul. And you could see that in his playing at a very, very early age.
He was a great guitar player then at 13, and but he loved what Phillies do. So he would sit right next to Phillies, and he watched Phillies. And Phillies would show him different things. Different things that he did.
I know with a lot of his friends, older friends, we just kind of pointed him in the right direction, and said, listen to T-Bone Walker. He really wanted to learn blues at the time, and learn T-Bone Walker and Freddie King and B.B. King, the Kings, of course. And he went away for a while, and then he came back, and he had pretty much all of those styles under his belt.
He had an impact on so many people. He played music. It's sort of hard, hard to talk about music, what it means and how it affects people. Changed a lot of people's lives.
It seemed to me like a grandkid, you know what I mean? That's where I felt towards him. And it acted to me like he didn't meet no strangers, Everybody was a friend.
He also was very, I think, attuned to other people's feelings. I've seen him on stage with people with lesser abilities, and he never would try to burn them up or anything like that, like more insecure guitar players will do sometimes, where you get into these guitar battles. And he was never really into that. And I always like that, because that's a real sign of maturity.
Let the devil take tomorrow. For tonight I need a friend. Yesterday is dead and gone.
Wow, it's a good story about how I met Sean. I actually knew Paul Linden from Felix and the Cats, and he introduced me to Felix Reyes. And because Felix's drummer, Spider, was having some surgery, And I actually took Spider's place for a couple of weeks while he was recuperating from surgery. So when Spider came back, Felix said, you know, Spider's coming back, but I got somebody I want you to meet. And he took me down to Fat Matt's, and I met Sean Costello. And I think at the time, Sean was maybe 14, 15 years old. And it just blew me away. Sean asked me, he said, how would you like to play drums with me? And I said, I would love to.
I went to the funeral home, and I looked, his mother was there, and she turned around and she saw me, and she said, I want to show you something. And she said, Sean had been carrying around in his guitar case. And what I looked and saw was another good friend of mine that passed, called him Dunny Mac. He played what you call chicken cook. And he and I had taken a picture together, you know. And I heard that she buried him with that picture, and that showed of love.
It's pretty incredible how much we influence each other subconsciously and beyond. I was back there watching Donnie McCormick when I was younger, and trying to sit in with him and trying to pick up everything that he did. And so Sean was somebody that influenced me. He was a lot younger than me.
Sean was, in my opinion, had his roots in the real soil of what American music, the originality of the traditions that make up American music, and had carved himself out a unique space that was respectful of the old traditions, was fresh and interesting.
Seen I'm sleeping in the doorway, baby living outside. Oh, this back just like a cockroach, but he ain't waiting to die. Look, you ask me how he sings his blues so well. He said, I got a soul that I want to sell. I got a soul that I want to sell. I got a soul that I want to sell. I got a soul that I want to sell. That's how I sing my blues so well. I don't read postcards.
I think of it in the same way as Robert Johnson, you know, passing in his late 20s, you know, what was left unsaid could have really revolutionized and changed the face of you know, music as we knew it in the century after he passed. So we're here because I'm not the only one that feels the way that I just described. People recognize that he had a gift that was very, very rare, the kind you only see once, maybe every, you know, several generations, maybe 40 or 50 years.
All right, I just want to do this. It's not going to take much time, and it ain't going to be perfect. But Sean, for me, represented a lot about taking chances in life, and I wrote this for him, and I hope you enjoy it.